Let me take you back to 2016, when I first discovered an indie RPG from a friend. I fell in love with this game, like many others before me. I used to enjoy talking about it with my friends or looking at fan content online, mostly comic dubs. The game in question is Undertale. Undertale is a game that shows that choices have consequences in life. But what makes this game so special? I have rooted the spark of this great game to two key points: the music and the charm and humor. The game's music captures the emotions or atmosphere the player should be feeling. For example, during the GENOCIDE run, most tracks are slowed down or not even played at all, which creates an eerie environment. The eerie tone created by the music emphasizes the fact that everyone in the area is dead, and the actions of your consequences are coming back to haunt you. Another example is during the True Pacifist route, specifically Undertale OST 92, Reunited, which shows the fact that everything seems hopeful for the future of humans and monsters. Song names also convey certain messages that Toby wanted to make the player feel. For example, during the fight with King Asgore, the song Bergentrückung plays. In German folklore, Bergentrückung generally refers to a legend about a king or legendary hero who is asleep in the mountains, which is awaiting to awaken yet again to save the people and residents from evil. When relating King Asgore with the legend, he is a king that doesn't want to fight the human, but for the good of his people, he has to so he can free them. During the pacifist and neutral run, before the player fights Asgore, the monsters tell the player that King Asgore will let us go, King Asgore will give us hope, and King Asgore will save us all. The monsters believe in their king to free them from the humans, and so King Asgore must fight the human to capture their soul and free monsters, despite him not wanting to. Another example of the song name reflecting the theme is Undertale OST 98, Battle Against a True Hero. This track plays during the GENOCIDE run, when battling Undyne the Undying. Unlike the neutral and pacifist runs of the game, Undyne battles the player not to save only monster kind, but also to save humankind from the player that, if they escape from the underground, they will cause havoc and chaos in the human world. As Undyne says, if you get past
me, you'll destroy them all, won't you? But I won't let you do that. Right now, everyone in the world, I can feel their hearts beating as one. And we all have one goal: to defeat you. For the sake of the whole world, I, Undyne, will strike you down!
She is determined to take the player down, and the song's name expresses the battle against someone which is the heroine of the story. In the GENOCIDE route, you are the villain. Unfortunately for Undyne, it's a losing battle, and the only reason that you as the player are able to defeat her is the fact you have infinite tries. The odds were never in the monster's favor. You as the player had the choice to either save them or kill them. Undertale's music shapes how the game feels and is played, and shows and emphasizes that due to your own actions, you make yourself the villain. And if you like what you see so far, please consider subscribing. This is the first full-length analysis video I've made, so your opinions would really help out a ton. Undertale's charm and humor is shown through many different situations during the player's journey through the underground. For example, certain pairs of characters, such as Sans and Papyrus, make the game more humoristic. A pair of characters that many forget to mention when considering this is Alphys and Mettaton. Although the pair of Sans and Papyrus is more iconic than this duo, I think there is a certain beauty of the interactions between the creator and the creation. Alphys and Mettaton's relationship seems genuine, especially since they care about each other, which is evident after the battle the player has with Mettaton in the pacifist and neutral routes. Alphys rushes in and is evidently worried about them after the fight. I think one of the goofiest and best scenes in Waterfall is when the bird carries the player over the disproportionately small gap. The music being played doesn't make sense, but it makes the scene so much better because it overhypes the situation as the bird slowly takes the player over the gap. The whole scene is just so charmful and quite frankly beautiful. Of course, I do have to give an honorable mention to Sans, as his goofiness during the entire game with his fourth wall breaks and teleportation shenanigans are just so hilarious. The funny thing is that the player never knows where he might be or what he might do, and he really gives off the vibe of a prankster which is just relaxed and just so calm. I think that is the reason his infamous fight is such a shocker for new players. In Undertale, there is a random value that is set at the start of the game, which determines random events. This value is called the fun value. The fun value helps to make the game feel more immersive, as it shows that characters have their own lives. For example, some random events that may happen are Sans calling the player to see if the refrigerator is running, Alphys calling the player to order a pizza, and someone calling the player in Snowden, but it is the wrong number, so they play the wrong number song. I simply cannot talk about Undertale without at least mentioning Gaster. For context, WD Gaster was the royal scientist before Alphys. He created the core in Hotland and then fell into his creation and was shattered across time and space, according to the grayscale versions of the other characters called Gaster followers. He is known to speak in winglings, hence the WD at the beginning of his name. At fun value 66, there is a room in which there is a strange sprite called mysteryman.png. This is most assumed to be Gaster. Now, why do I bring Gaster up here? Well, many of the information about him is not very concrete, so to speak, but I believe it is important to recognize the sense of mystery that he brings to Undertale. To this day, Gaster is still a giant mystery in the Undertale and even Deltarune communities, since he has a certain connection between both games. I have barely scratched the surface of the mystery of this character, but if you would like to know more, I would highly suggest seeing these videos by Misty Sparkles. Links are in the description. Links are in the description. Undertale is innovative in its charm, which is supported mainly by its music. There's a lot that was not said in this video, but I believe that these are the main points. Originally this was meant to be a tribute to Undertale, and in a certain sense I guess it still is, but I think the points made fit better for a retrospective. Thank you for watching, and good night.